Hi folks, just a really quick video, something you can practice at home potentially if you've got somewhere to dangle a rope off of. How grippy is your Belay device? So I'm going to do a wee test, 4 different Belay devices, but ultimately old style devices with no V-grooves, new style ones with the V-grooves, and sometimes the slots are slightly narrower to accommodate modern ropes which tend to be skinnier. And 3 different ropes, a single rope 10.5, a single rope 9.1 and a half rope 8.3, so very, very skinny, somewhere in between, and a full weight rope. Kind of thing you might buy as your first rope or find at the climbing wall. This one as a single rope, right on the skinny end of the spectrum, and these half ropes very skinny and a little bit more specialist, but you'll get the idea. I'm going to use one type of carabiner. It's a screw gate, obviously. It's a modern one with a kind of I-beam construction, fairly skinny diameter. This is the one I use. Arguably there are other types, but we're going to use that one for consistency. I weigh 80 kilograms with my clothes and my harness on, and I'm just going to try and hold the rope with one hand. I'm thinking context here is lead belaying. It could be trad, sport, whatever. So we're going to talk about devices, whether they're slick or grabbing. Grabbing as in I can physically hold that rope easily when I have to slam the brakes on. Slick being I really have to apply a lot of effort. But you could also look at that in the context of how easy is it for me to feed the rope. Assuming good technique, is it slick to feed out or does it grab a bit? You'll get the idea as we go along. So let's kick off with non-tooth device, Black Diamond ATC. And on the 10.5mm rope, no bother at all there, so you know that's physically easy to hold. As expected with such a chunky rope. And if I was to pop the ATC XP with the braking rope coming out the V-groove side, and that's exceptionally grabbing, so I can comfortably hold my own body weight there. I'm just seeing if I could, just with a few fingers almost, I can hold the rope comfortably. So good choice there. So if I was to try the old ATC on the skinnier ropes, I'm anticipating that it would be slicker, harder to hold. So let's go with the modern device, ATC XP, and just go down the ropes now. So we're on to a 9.1mm single rope. Just trying to be consistent, holding the rope in the maximum braking position. No bother there at all. The rope's really sinking down into those V-grooves. So that's grabbing. Now half ropes are maybe a little bit more specialist, and the application of the technique of half ropes is maybe beyond the scope of this video. Generally you'd have both half ropes into your device at the same time, but just for consistency I'm just going to choose one strand and see how that behaves. So straight away, even though I'm gripping 95% grip, I could physically in the heat of the moment grip a little bit tighter, but that is running through. I'm not able just to comfortably hold my own body weight. And bear in mind in a fall there's going to be lots of variables, like the rope might run a little bit, the belayer gets shifted around. This is just a little bit of a kind of trying to keep everything consistent approach. So that's of the 2 devices there, old ATC, bit too slick, lacks the grooves that modern skinny ropes might need, and the, apologies, ATC XP behaved a lot better. So my choice here, this, acceptable on the blue rope, totally unacceptable on the others. This, fine on all 3, albeit the 8.3s were less grabbing, as you'd expect. And then having a quick look at what Petzl have to offer. The old style reversal, no longer available, but you still see them in common use. No V-grooves, although it does have a little rib there that actually adds a little bit of extra grip. And the Reverso 4, which has deep V-grooves and quite narrow slots as well. So let's stick the Reverso. I'll get that back in a wee second. That's what you get when you're trying to have slick presentation, eh? Okay, so that is fine, absolutely fine. It does have big slots, no V-grooves, so I am having to apply a bit of force there, but it's grabbing the rope, there's no doubt about it. Chunky rope, mind. And the 9.1. Okay, so that, we're really struggling. It's just running. So, too slick for me. Although on it, it does say suitable for half ropes, and it does say down to 8mm. So here's an 8.3. So this would be right at the bottom end of what is acceptable to put into this device. Fine with 2 ropes, but if it was just 1 rope holding the weight, again, running even with near maximum grip. So only suitable for the 10.5 and the Reverso 4 in fact. Just whizzing through. You can feel that's hard to push through, so I'm anticipating that it's going to be a grabbing device anyway. However, using good Belay technique, it does feed absolutely fine, and there's no doubt that I'm comfortably able to hold my weight with one hand there. No dramas at all. Onto the 9.1. Absolutely fine there, rope's really sitting down in the V-grooves. Yeah, I can notice the difference between the 10.5, but still no dramas. And then dropping down to, I'll just use 1 strand just for speed. And yeah, it's running through. I can control it, but it's starting to become slick. So regardless of what device you use, if you're using 8.3mm ropes, you want to be paying attention, good Belay technique, and realising the limitations of such a light rope. And yeah, that's the 4. So in reality, old ATC XP, sorry, not the ATC XP, just the ATC, only with the big chunky ropes. If I go to a climbing wall and I'm working with ropes that maybe don't get changed that often, the ropes will swell up to 15-16mm sometimes. So I might still have this in my armoury of Belay devices. Equally, with a big chunky rope like that, my ATC XP might not behave too grabbing. The other device that's very similar is the Reverso 4, which is my go-to device really, and teamed up with this carabiner, the oval, I find that it works across the range of rope diameters and in all contexts, so winter climbing, summer, lead, top rope, bottom top rope, abseiling, whatever I'm using it for, this is a device that I'm familiar with and seems to behave well on all rope diameters. Hope that's helpful. Come back to me with any comments, and you know, if you've got a suitable anchor, then dangle on your rope, do it close to the ground, so if anything does go pop, you're not going to end up falling down the stairs. Okay, thanks for your time folks, and see you soon.